Alright, so you should stay with your parents this summer and live with them as long as you possibly can without obviously being a bum. So why am I saying that? Why am I saying stay with your parents? Because I want you to save money, okay? I think that staying with your parents is going to be, honestly, the best thing that you can do for your financial situation. Now, staying with your parents is going to beat out renting a place, and it's going to beat out the costs of food and the costs of a whole bunch of different things that you may not even realize. And let's just say that maybe you're an adult, maybe you can just start giving your parents a little bit of money on the side or whatever just to stay at their place. And I would say that if you're going to move out, then move out with like some roommates or something so that you can kind of like split the rent, because once again, you're focusing on saving money. Now, I ended up staying with my parents and living with them until I was about 21, and then I moved out at 22. I ended up finally buying my own place, okay? Now, the thing is I didn't go out and rent. I didn't go out with roommates and rent. I didn't do any of that. I stayed with my parents as long as I could and put back as much money as I possibly could. Now, I also gave them some money on the side and stuff to be able to offset maybe some of the groceries and just like me living there and stuff like that and being an adult. You know, I did give them some money and stuff. It'd probably be really, really similar to like maybe moving out with some roommates or something and then just kind of like splitting rent. So that is also another alternative to staying with your parents. Maybe your parents are like not good or whatever, then you could obviously just like gather up some roommates or whatever and just go out and stay at some kind of rental or whatever. You could always do that. That's a great option as well. But I think that if you can stay home as long as you can without obviously being a bum and you're focusing on saving money, that you can actually have some really, really good success in your life. I believe that if you end up pairing this with a good job or just some kind of skill or something like that, where you're not just sitting there working at McDonald's or, or whatever, you're actually you're doing some kind of difficult job, or maybe some job that requires a skill, or maybe just some job that just pays well. I think that whenever we turn 18, we end up getting this idea of freedom that we're going to just simply move out. And then we're just going to live on our own. We're going to, pay rent. We're going to do whatever we can to get by. And that, in my opinion, can work if that is the path that you choose. But if there is something that you want to start saving for, like I said, I ended up saving up for my first place and actually buying my own home instead of renting or whatever. That is just what I wanted to do. That is always an option. You could also save up money so that you can just honestly feel a little bit more comfortable and safe in life so that you don't have to struggle like others that you might see that struggle. Yes, maybe some people might look at you as a bum if you're staying with your parents or you're staying with somebody, or maybe you're staying with roommates or whatever and somebody thinks it's weird or whatever. If it turns out to be that way, it is what it is, okay? But the thing is I think that staying with your parents as long as you can is going to be the best way that you can start saving money, okay? And maybe, like I said, you just want to be independent or whatever. I get that. And if that is the path that you want to choose for yourself and you love that independency and that is just the way that you want to live, that is okay, that is fine. But I do think that if you can stay with your parents as long as you can, I think that that's a great way to be able to bank back a little bit of that cash and be able, maybe let's just say they're in actually a really bad neighborhood or something like that. They're in a place or an environment, they're far from jobs, whatever it may be. If it makes more sense to end up moving at that point, of course, do it. But if it's something as small as like, oh, I just want to move out so that I can feel independent and grown up and I can say that I've moved out, it's not probably a good idea, okay? Because I think that even if it's a little bit awkward, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable to grow up and, stay with your parents, like I said, I stayed with them until I was like 21 years old. It could be awkward. It can be maybe a little awkward, especially if you have a girlfriend or whatever. I mean, I did. And honestly, just the benefits of doing this and staying home is just going to be so much better whenever you're able to save that money and be able to put it back instead of spending it all And I think that obviously there's a whole bunch of spending habit stuff that I would have to talk about in probably a different separate video that I think would probably better explain how to save money and stuff. But I think that there's a big cost when it comes to moving out on your own, okay? And I think that unless you actually need to for work or just, I don't know, like I said, you have bad parents or something like that, then obviously do what you got to do, okay? But I think that if you can stay home, if you have that opportunity, if you have that possibility, if you have the friends to, be able to have roommates or whatever, then obviously do what you got to do. Do that, do whatever you feel is right. But at the same time, also keep in mind that staying with your parents as long as you can and banking back that money is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself to set yourself up for a great financial future and to give yourself a head start over others. As long as you're trying hard and you're putting in the work and you're trying to save as much as you possibly can, there's no shame in staying until you're 25 or whatever. I think that maybe when you're 30 years old or something, maybe that's a little bit different, okay? I think that you should have something a little bit more figured out by then, but likely you're a little bit younger watching this video. So hopefully staying at home and working and developing skills and stuff, trying new opportunities, like I said, with real estate and stuff like that, doing those kind of things are going to lead you in a better direction, and being able to save that money by staying at home will allow you those opportunities. I feel like that was pretty well said. I hope so, at least. So I hope you enjoyed, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. If you did enjoy, then be sure to like and subscribe. So if you did enjoy this video, then there's a good chance you'll also like this video right here, okay? This will also help you with your financial situation, okay? So pair this video with staying at home. That's pretty much not spending money online. This is a great way for you to just maximize your savings, okay? Staying at home and not spending a whole bunch of money on junk online, great way to honestly bank that money, okay? So check this video out if you haven't already, and as always, find the fire within you and save that money, and stay Diablo.